Hey everyone, it's me, I'm back. Today I wanted to try a different, type of recording a video rather than planning everything out and so I know everything I'm gonna do and scripting. I just sort of wanted to try out just recording the kind of stuff I get up to in a day, little things I do on either Dugged or This World or any other server I'm part of, and maybe put it into a little video at the end of the day. I don't know. I'm not really sure how this will turn out, but I wanted to, run a little experiment. Not the best at multitasking, which is why, a lot of times in my videos I sort of jump around, and a lot of times I end up doing reshoots, or I just do the take again. Yeah, it's just a different thing I wanted to try out. And hopefully, if it turns out well, one will allow me to upload more often because, I have to spend less time planning out a meaningful and lengthy episode. I can just record the kind of stuff I get up to in a day and maybe just have some interesting conversations, I think. Just talk about various things. So anyway, at the moment, I am gathering grass and vines. And the reason is, I'm currently, by the way, if you haven't seen my last video on This World, I'd recommend you check it out. Pretty much I asked if I should downgrade This World from 1.8.9 to 1.8.1 because there is a bug in 1.8.1 that allows, or exploit, whatever, that allows you to break Bedrock using beds. You can, or rather, a combination of either a grass or vine, and then you place a bed on top of that vine and it replaces the block at the head of the bed. So yeah, I recommend you watch that video if you want to see what I'm talking about. Actually, you know what, I'll demonstrate it right here because I'm playing in this version. So let's place the bed down and then boom. So see, that wood plank got erased from existence when I placed the bed down on top of the grass, and you can do the same thing with vines. So right now I am, and so yeah, I downgraded to 1.8.1 because I felt I didn't really have too much to lose. It wasn't going to be that big of a deal, and you could always, I could always just upgrade back to 1.8.9. Shouldn't be that hard. So I'm just gathering these because I want to break a lot of Bedrock, and I don't have access to a lot of dragon eggs yet. I want to make a good dragon egg duper because I am going to be duping dragon eggs in This World. I'm just going to put that out there. Breaking Bedrock without dragon eggs is really painful, and there's no other way to get them apart from duping them. And I want to make an actual a good duper using an end portal and basically the regular falling block dupe glitch. Although you can't automate that on 1.8, unfortunately. You have to use, or at least for dragon eggs, you have to manually place them as a player because slime works a little differently. It's harder to automate that kind of stuff. And in 1.8, there's I don't think there's any option for making an automatic one without the use of the player. But in order for me to make said duper, I'm going to need an end crystal. I'm not really going to get into the reason why, but I do need an end crystal for something. And in order to get end crystals in 1.8, you have to make a flying machine and populate end pillars with indestructible end crystals on top of them. And in order to do that, I need slime, and I don't have a slime farm right now. So I really quickly designed up a slime farm in creative. It's actually pretty decent. I think it gets around 1100 slime balls per hour, which is pretty good, I'd say, for a pre-magma block slime farm. But that slime farm does require that you break a lot of the bedrock there, where basically you break all the bedrock up until Y0. So because I can't use dragon eggs, or I can use dragon eggs, I have a few dragon eggs that I manually duped with a alt account. Oh, my shears broke. I have a few dragon eggs, like 4 dragon eggs, but that's not enough, and it's that would take forever to break all the bedrock for a 1-chunk slime farm. So instead, I'm just gonna gather up a bunch of grass and vines and break all the bedrock in that chunk using beds. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't need to break all that much bedrock. I only need to break a specific portion of the farm to put hoppers and collection system and also cactuses, because that's how I kill them. So actually, I think I might be gathering a little too much here, but I'm gonna collect a few more vines and grass, and then maybe we can scout out a location for the slime farm. Okay, so according to Amidst, this chunk right here is a slime chunk. I just chose this random single chunk right outside of spawn because I don't think I'm going to expand the farm later on. I think because it's a single player world, I don't need, and it's 1.8, I don't think I'll need so much slime that AFKing at this thing for 1 or 2 nights isn't going to cover it. At least for now. You know, I do plan on eventually making a bigger slime farm, multi-slime chunk farm in my quad witch hut perimeter, and then even later down the line, a full-on perimeter for a slime farm. But yeah, for now, this chunk right here, this will do. I marked out the single chunk because that's all I had blocks for, but we actually need to expand about 3 blocks in 2 directions and then 5 blocks in the others for pack spawning mostly. Okay, so this is the design. It's really nothing special. I didn't want to do anything extremely fast, you know, some hyper fast slime farm with really efficient splitting and killing, and just because this was an early game slime farm. I don't want to put an extreme amount of effort into something that is temporary and I only need to get me just a basic amount, a very small amount of slime, you know, nothing huge. And this works pretty well, I'm gonna be honest. It's basic. There's no iron golem luring. Pretty much what happens if I can get a slime spawn egg. Here's slime spawns. Yep. And eventually just finds its way off the platform. And there we go, and dies. And as for the medium and the big slime, can I get a big slime? Yep. They just get killed by the cactus. And you might say, oh, wouldn't there be loss? But there really isn't any. You know, in a very rare occasion, you know, if one of these slimes, because these are the only slimes that drop slime balls, if they align themselves just right, you know, they can, if they get in a specific spot, their balls can land in a cactus. But for the most part, the amount of loss is actually very small. It mostly ends up in the hoppers, apart from, like, I don't know, like, yeah, like I said, a very small amount ends up in the hoppers. And if we go into spectator here, yeah. The only downside to this design, I'd say, is the amount of hoppers it uses. It's not great. You know, there's no way to lock them or anything, which is why I don't think this would be a good farm for a full-on slime chunk farm perimeter. A full-on slime farm, because yeah, you use a lot of hoppers. Also, I didn't put golems in here because I'm very poor. I don't have a lot of iron. I could probably muster enough for golems, but I don't think it makes that much of a difference. I mean, by the way, this counter right here, this is just how I test rates. I pretty much hook everything up to a dropper clock and then a command block that adds 1 point to the scoreboard every time an item gets dispensed into lava. And then I AFK for a few hours and then just divide the total amount of items by the time I AFK, and that's how I get the rates. And like I said, this gets about 1100 slime balls an hour. It's not perfect. I can't really test with carpet mod or anything. Yeah, and as you can see, sometimes slimes get, you know, stuck. They just hit a wall. So it's not the most efficient thing in the world. But it does work. It does get more than enough for me. I was expecting something like 8,000 drops per hour. This is a big surprise. It was very surprising that I was able to get that many slime balls per hour. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but yeah, this is essentially the starter farm I'm going to be using. Nothing special, but it works, and it actually works pretty well. Okay, so it's been a day since the last clip, and I dug out the entire chunk, as you can see, and I started breaking Bedrock. But I'm going to get down there in a second, but I just wanted to say, I forgot to mention this earlier, but another reason why this is actually a pretty good location for a starter slime farm is because it's right next to a mushroom island, and if you just go over here, there is an ocean over here. Alright, and the reason this is good is because the mushroom island, obviously I don't have to spawn proof anything over there or in the caves because no mobs can spawn in that biome. And also there's not a lot of caves in the ocean biome due to how deep the water goes. So yeah, it's a pretty good location. Honestly, I think spawn proofing it will be the most annoying part because you'd have to go from cave to cave. And yeah, I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow or the day after. But anyway, yeah, I've just been storing everything in these chests. One thing about 1.8, no shulkers makes it really painful to transport all your dig storage someplace else, so I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with this. But yeah, it's here for now. I set up my beacon down there, and yeah, right now I'm breaking Bedrock. So like I showed earlier, we needed a trench for hoppers and cactus, and I actually think I'm gonna have to break some Bedrock in the walls as well for the cactus to grow. But yeah, this is all done. This was actually pretty fast. I gotta say, using using beds to break Bedrock is actually strangely satisfying. I mean, just look, it's instant, boom, like that. It's also pretty relaxing. I've just been doing it while listening to some podcasts and some music. So yeah, it's been pretty nice, Yeah, I don't know, I just really like this. This is super satisfying for me. So I did actually run into an issue when working on this project, and that is that the blacksmith that I buy pickaxes off of, so there's no mending in 1.8, and what that means is whenever I come close to breaking a pickaxe, I have to repair it manually with a another pickaxe. And because I don't want to spend diamonds, because I mean those aren't renewable and they're also kind of annoying to get, I buy pickaxes off of a blacksmith and just merge them. And it's a little more expensive this way because the pickaxes are enchanted, but at least it's cheap. I just have to get some emeralds, and emeralds aren't really that hard because I can just farm crops really quickly. Yeah, it's nice. But the only blacksmith that I have, or rather the only toolsmith that I have, is locked up. He has locked up most of his trades, and the only trades that are left are super expensive trades that use like 3 diamonds for an emerald, and I don't really want to try that to unlock him. Pretty much, yeah, he's locked up, and I have no way of getting pickaxes renewably now, so that sucks. So I went diamond mining. I got 30 diamonds, and that's, I guess, alright. I mean, it's not a huge number or anything, but problem is I still want to do some dig projects. I still have to finish digging out my spawn, and so at the moment I need to find I need to get another toolsmith so I can buy more pickaxes. So the issue is that I have only one villager breeder, and it's in my spawn chunks, and the reason I built it there is so I can get villagers for an iron farm, and I disabled the breeder after I finished building the iron farm so that the iron farm could actually work and the villages wouldn't interfere with each other. But now that I actually have an iron farm, I don't want to break it, so I can't really run the villager breeder at the moment. So I'm considering just setting up a... See, I wanted to make a full-on villager area, albeit a temporary one, but I did want to make a villager area with a breeder, a trading hall, crop farms, all that stuff, and the mushroom island over there. Just so that I could get some, infrastructure going in that department and actually be able to start digging perimeters, because the big part with perimeters is getting pickaxes and stuff, and villagers make that way easier. But I wanted to start that project a little later. I wanted to build up a couple farms first, a slime farm, for instance, a better iron farm. So I'm thinking about maybe starting the project a little early, building an actual villager breeder there. Actually a fast one, and starting it up just so that I can get a blacksmith, so I don't have to waste my time mining diamonds, so I could repair my pickaxe. But anyway, yeah, we broke another trench. That's pretty cool. So what I need to do right now is, well, first of all, I still need to break a little extra bedrock on the edges, like I said before, but before I even do that, I need to actually get cactuses. Now, a little while ago, I was digging in a desert. We're actually going to go there right now. Okay, we've arrived at my desert. So, interestingly enough, by the way, don't mind the sandstone texture. I need to change this. It's very weird, contrasts very weirdly with actual regular sand. So, yeah, I need to change it. But what I want to point out is a lot of my projects or my accomplishments in this world just started out just me being bored and me wanting to do something. The mob switch, spawn, this desert right here. So one day I got bored and I was like, what, I want to dig some sand. because I plan on using it a lot in future projects for TNT and glass. I might as well have a lot. It's a very useful material to have. And so I just started digging in this desert. I actually got quite a few cactuses. Actually, I think I have about 6 double chests of sand, which is, it's pretty good for early game. But anyway, yes, I'm going to collect some cactuses from here. Cacti? Cacti. Yeah, my bad. I need to get some cacti from here, and I'll set up a quick cactus farm near the slime farm so that we can build up some cactus and, be able to actually build a farm. Because that's the only material we're missing at the moment is cactuses. Cacti. Yeah. Okay, so a lot of stuff happened off camera, which I unfortunately wasn't able to record. It's funny because when I started this video, I wanted it to be super quick, simple video where I go around building stuff and not really going like super in depth and anything at all. I really did not think that I would finish up the slime farm before the end of the video because I sort of just grinded it out the last 2 days and finished it up. So as you can see, it's here and it's working pretty well. I'm not entirely sure if the rates hold up because as I'm spectating here, I see a lot of slime just hopping in the wrong direction, and I've seen quite a few despawn, and I'm not sure if that's because they're pathfinding to the solid blocks of the wall or not. I'm not sure if the slime pathfinding AI prioritizes solid blocks or if it's just random, but if it becomes a big enough issue, I can just add iron golems to the walls, and but I don't think that'll be necessary because I AFK'd overnight, and I filled up my storage, which is way more slime than I need for a while. Yeah, I got a lot. Anyway, I just hooked up the item output to a super simple item elevator, as you can see here, which is really cool, this one, because it requires no redstone at all. It's just 2 fences. And unfortunately, this is something that's only possible in versions below 1.9, so this no longer works past the 1.8, but it's still really nice to have. I'm not entirely sure if pack spawning is optimized in this farm either, because the chunks surrounding the slime farm are raised past the second sub-chunk. But that's okay, because like I said, it's a basic early game farm, and I'm going to build much better ones down the line. It took me quite a while to spawn-proof the area. As you can see, there's a bunch of torches, a bunch of caves are lit up, the surface is lit up. But what I did was I went into a creative copy, and I used World Edit to mark out the despawn sphere. Then I wrote down the coords of all the caves I had to spawn-proof and lit them up in survival. Now, I'm certain that I missed a few spots, so it's not a perfect perimeter, but it's more than good enough. I think that pretty much wraps it up. This was a really fun project, and like all digging projects, I got a bunch of resources from it, which honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do with, because transporting massive amounts of items in 1.8 is pretty tricky. I'm going to need to find something to build out of all this stone. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, please excuse the weird formatting of this video if you know, because as you know, it started off really casual and it became more of an entire project overview. If you guys want to see more videos from this world, please let me know, because I really love playing on this world, and it'd be great if I could make more videos on it. Real quick, I wanted to say that if you want to see more stuff from me, I stream every other day, and I also tweet updates every once in a while, so go check out my Twitch and Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.